Good morning. Happy Monday. Happy short week. Gang, boys and girls, only 3 days until July 4th. Well, that's pretty nice. That sounds pretty fun. Just a couple days, it's Monday, so, it could be better, but staring down the barrel of a 3-day work week. So, kind of takes the pain out of it a little bit. We have a sweep. Houston Astros swept the Seattle Mariners, improving their season record against these lowly Seattle Mariners to 9-1. Pure domination. Love to see it. Great to see them get back to the winning ways. Let's get right into it. First game Friday night. Bit of a pitcher's duel. Wade Miley, dynamite on the mound. He goes 6 innings, just gives up 1 run. Then the Mariners opting for the unconventional opener approach, which means they had a bullpen guy just come out and pitch the first inning, led by Tommy Malone, who had 5 innings of shutout baseball. Mariners held the Astros scoreless until the 8th inning, when Josh Reddick just uncorked a mammoth home run right field. Astros have been playing tense. These guys don't know how to lose. They are not used to losing, so when they go on little streaks like this and they're slumping, it seems like they're all playing a little tight. That home run seemed to kind of put them at ease, take the tension off their shoulders, and these guys started playing baseball. Game goes to extra innings. Yuli Gurriel steps up in the 10th and just unloads an ice missile over the Crawford boxes, sending the Astros home winners. Just ice in his veins from La Pina. Game 2, faster start. Astros plated 5 runs in the 2nd inning, and typically that would be enough run support for Justin Verlander. Not really the case on Saturday. Verlander not pitching up to his Cy Young dominance that he has been displaying this season. He gives up 4 in just 5 innings pitched. I was looking at the box score. I didn't start watching until about the 6th inning, but he still went 100 pitches in 5 innings, which means his pitches weren't hitting their spots, and he would tell you more than anybody that he just wasn't on his game. So the Verlander gets knocked out, and 6 Astros relievers hold the Mariners to 1 run the rest of the way. That 1 run proved to be costly, though. It was a tying home run off the bat of Daniel Vogelbach, off of the typically sure Ryan Presley, dynamite Mr. Now All-Star. We'll get into that a little bit later. He gives up the game-tying home run. The game goes to extra innings. In the 10th, who else but La Pina? Yuli steps up. Michael Brantley's on base, and he notches a double into the right center field gap. Sends home Michael Brantley, and for the 2nd night in a row, Yuli plays the hero. Nice, solid win. Unfortunately, it looks like Yuli came up a little bit limp, and hopefully it's nothing. I think he's listed as day-to-day, but in the bottom of the 7th, he was trying to leg out an infield single, missed the bag, awkward dismount, but once again, hopefully it's not a big thing. Game 3, not nearly as close. The Astros essentially led from start to finish. They end up beating the Mariners 6-1. Garrett Cole, dude, was just on fire, lights out. He goes 7 innings, 10 strikeouts, 1 earned run. At the dish, the rook, Yordan Alvarez, continues to rake. 2 for 3, 3 RBIs. Jose Altuve and Josh Reddick, Altuve had 3 hits. Josh Reddick recorded 3. So, nice little series sweep. Just love to see it. Looks like the Astros are back to their winning ways. What this means in the grand scheme of things, as I pointed out earlier, Astros improve their season record against the Mariners to 9-1. Just beautiful. Absolutely love it. They also increased their lead over the Rangers to 6.5 games in the West. Rangers lost 2 of 3 to Tampa Bay, so that was nice to make up a little bit of ground there. Now, the Astros have been slumping recently. It's a pretty well-known fact. As much as this sweep means, and as good as I'm sure it feels, it kind of feels like that it has the potential to be one of those series where you point back like that was kind of a blip. It wasn't necessarily indicative of future success, because the Astros always beat up on the Mariners, and the games on Friday and Saturday were close. Pitching wasn't the pitching, at least on Friday, was a little suspect. Saturday was a little suspect with JV on the mound. I think it'd be important to take this week, and if we even play 500 baseball, I'd feel okay with that. If the Astros play 500 baseball, I'd feel just fine with that. They travel to Colorado for a 2-game series that begins tomorrow evening. Coors Field. The Rockies, they're 44-40, currently second place in their division behind the National League leading Los Angeles Dodgers, who the Astros will hopefully be seeing in October in the World Series. The games so a couple of things. It's a National League series hosted by a National League team, which means that the designated hitter is off the table. Pitchers are going to be batting, plus it's Coors Field, that elevation, it's just wonky. There's no givens. Anytime you walk into that park, it just kind of seems like you're in the Twilight Zone. So potential for a lot of high-scoring games. The Astros haven't announced a starter for tomorrow's game. Brad Peacock was sent to the disabled list, the injured list rather, and AJ is not named a starter as of now. So that has the potential to be a pretty high-scoring game. I can see like an 8-6, 9-7 type game. And then Wade Miley's on the mound on Wednesday. He was great. He's been really strong the last couple of weeks. He's pitching pretty well. So that'll be nice to see him on the mound on Wednesday. If I had to make a projection, I think the Astros drop tomorrow's game and split the series on Wednesday. That's my call. I'm sticking to it. Elsewhere around Minute Maid, the Astros, the rest of the All-Stars were announced last night. The starters were announced late last week. Pitchers and reserves were announced last night. Justin Verlander, Garrett Cole, Ryan Presley, all joining Alex Bregman, George Springer, and Michael Brantley, meaning that 6 Houston Astros will be participating in the Midsummer Classic. Absolutely love it. That's the most in the bigs. Credit to those guys. Congratulations. Verlander and Garrett having great seasons. Ryan Presley is arguably the best reliever in baseball, so all those guys well-deserved. Some people frustrated with the exclusion of Josh Reddick, Robinson Chirinos, and Roberto Osuna. I was particularly disappointed with Chirinos because ever since he's come over from Arlington, he's been great. And I love me some Brian McCann, but it's nice to have a guy behind the plate who looks I don't want to say more athletic, because once again, I really enjoy Brian McCann. He did a lot of great things for us, but it seems like Chirinos is more in tune with several of his pitchers. Brian McCann was beloved by that clubhouse, but Chirinos, who typically has had a couple of issues with his bat, he's playing well behind the plate. He's playing well at the dish. I was hoping that he would get the nod, but unfortunately, James McCann from the Tigers was announced as the reserve catcher for the American League. And also you can't be greedy. 6 Astros, can't win them all. We can't send our entire team out there, right? Right? Well, we could. You could. Be nice, but I'll take 6. So congratulations to those guys. It's going to be weird not seeing Jose Altuve out there. This is the first time since 2014 that he will not be participating in the All-Star game. Jose's been a little dinged up this season. He's hitting just over 250, which is well below the standard he sets for himself. Very off pace from his career numbers. So my spin on this is that instead of going to the All-Star game, he'll have a nice little 3-day break away from the action, kind of rehab a little bit, get back to his form, and continue to get back into shape. So that's that about the All-Star game. I also actually wanted to give a brief shout out to Hunter Pence, former Houston Astro, fan favorite. He's been playing some ball in San Francisco last couple of years. After his contract was up, the Rangers extended him a minor league contract, and he had to earn his way onto the roster. He's making just $2 million in comparison of fellow American League designated hitter Albert Pujols. Gosh, that name still makes me shudder. Think back to 2004 when he just ballooned that Bradledge fastball into the Crawford boxes in the NLCS. Or is it NLDS? I can't remember. Who cares? Revisionist history. I wish you could do like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind on sports memories that just make you want to slam your head into a refrigerator. Slam your head. Has anyone slam your head into a refrigerator? Oh, wow. Okay, awesome. Anyway, Albert Pujols. Dude is making $28 million this year. $28 million compared to Hunter's $2 million. Anyway, he fights, claws, earns a spot. He will be starting as the designated hitter for the American League in the All-Star game. He's having a great season. What a steal for the Rangers. You know what? You always like when those little guys get one. They've been doing a lot of losing recently, and that fan base, they're starved for some piece of good news. So, happy for them. Really happy for those guys. Texas, congrats. I'm clapping. You guys did it. We did it, boys. We did it. But no, in all seriousness, Hunter Pence, always been one of my favorite baseball players. He was, personally, I remember when he got traded, that really signaled the reality of the situation that the Astros were going to just do a full-blown rebuild. And I was just heartbroken. Hunter was my favorite player as a kid. After the Killer Bees sort of dissolved into nothing, or retired, I guess. Dissolved into nothing was a little dramatic. But after that, there was this little, you were just starved for good baseball. And that was, Hunter Pence was it. He got called up, and he played really well for us, and I was devastated to see him go. I wish the Astros could have brought him back, but you know what? Happy to see him succeed, even if it is for the Texas Rangers. That's about all I have in terms of the baseball world. Me and Andrew are going to be recording tonight, talking about NBA free agency, some stuff in the news. Big breaking news story this morning is that Ezekiel Elliott was he's going to be meeting with Roger Goodell this week because it looks like cited in Vegas for a little dust-up, so we'll get Andrew's take on that. We should be dropping that tomorrow morning, tomorrow mid-afternoon. Y'all stay tuned. I appreciate y'all listening. Y'all subscribe to us on Podbean and give us a follow. Be huge. We're trying to right now keep this under wraps until we can get some solid tape. But in the meantime, any constructive feedback, anything you have to offer, just shoot me a text, email. I'll put my email in the description. And I really appreciate it. Have a happy Monday. Have a great week. Thank you guys for tuning in.